Okay, everybody. So tonight we're going to talk about gaining customers and building your PV. So earlier this week, it's the 4th of the month, and on the 1st, Celeste always posts her team stats, and I don't know how being under Celeste, but my name keeps showing up in her top 5 or so of her second leg level ones. I'm nowhere near the top of like all of her people, but I got a message from another diamond who was like, girl, how do you keep your PV up so high? I want to know. And I was like, wow, a diamond asking me for help. I'm like, well, you know what that tells me is I guess I do have some insight, like some insight that I can share with the team that I don't realize. So I spent a few days, hi Tina, I spent a few days kind of reflecting over that and thinking on it. And tonight I sat down and I made some notes. I looked back over my averages of my customers each month, how long my customers usually order for before they join or drop out. And I thought I could share some of that information for you and then encourage you with some of my personal thoughts on the subject. So this is from me. I'm not pulling this from any tips from the tops or anything like that. But okay, so my statistics, this is my 15th month. And on average right now, I have between 12 and 15 preferred customers. I'm averaging around 1,500 PV, which is right on par with where I usually am. I think my lowest month in the last maybe 6 or 10 months, somewhere in that time frame, I dropped a lot last fall down to like 700, and I had to really build my base back up. But I really try to stay in the like 1,000 to 1,500 every month. That's my goal, is to be above 1,000 every month. And so in order to do that, I know that I need to try and add at least 3 new preferred customers every month. That is my personal goal. Just like it's my personal goal to add 3 new ambassadors and go silver every month. And I don't always get that, but that's just what my goal is. So when I'm pursuing reaching out to people, I have that in mind. On average, looking back at my stats, my customers have been ordering anywhere on average between 2 and 6 months. I have a couple loyal ones who've been ordering for the entire 15 months, which is really awesome. One of them is my mom, so I appreciate that. Another one is a coworker, and she has seen amazing results with her blood sugar levels. She actually quit ordering for about 2 or 3 months and then came back. So that was a great thing. But it's really nice when you find those loyal customers who have like the major health change. They're not just looking for weight loss, but they've got that major health change, and they're like, I'm going to be on this for life because of what it's done for me. And that is awesome. It's always good to try to keep a few of those loyal customers and not convert all of them over to ambassadors. Because if, for example, my coworker with the great blood sugar levels, she's communicated to me that she has no interest in the business whatsoever. So yes, I could convert her to a wholesale customer and have those 15, the 5 points of $15 every month. But I want to keep my customer base, my PV, fairly high. So knowing that she's not interested in the business, I keep her as a customer and I don't mention the business side of things with her, because now that she's been ordering for so long, she gets that extra 10% discount. So she's, ordering right around the ambassador pricing anyway. So I can look forward to having those loyals be ordering every month. Again, I expect to lose about 3 customers every month. That is normal. If you think about it, if they're spending roughly $100 a month, say they're ordering the triplex, not everybody has that kind of disposable income for a long time. They're either going to want to switch over to get the lowest cost and become your ambassadors, or they're going to decide that, for right now, finances are tight or whatever comes up in their life, there's going to be a reason why they step down for a while. And that's normal. It's just like people join a gym and then they step down for a while and then they come back when they need it again. And that could be the same thing with your customers. I find that happen with mine. So expect some to back away from ordering. And, I usually will follow up with, it's been so wonderful to have you as a customer. I appreciate all the times that you've ordered. Is there anything that I can do to help you, to assist you? Like, I want to find out, why they're leaving. If it's something that's troubleshooting, I probably would have known about it before then because I'll get to that. But if it's been 5-6 months and then they're dropping out, I really want to find out why they're leaving. And usually it's finances are tight right now, or I'm just reevaluating things and I may come back, things like that. So, and I believe, I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure that I heard a call that Celeste and Jen were talking about. And at Celeste's 10 months, she was talking with Jen about, okay, I've got to my weight, that I got my weight loss that I wanted, let's talk about, having me back down or whatnot. And that was when Jen converted her. So just because someone is wanting to back away from ordering doesn't mean that they wouldn't be willing to convert over, because if you explain that if they have 3 or 4 customers and they can get their products for free, they might be willing to continue when they don't have to spend that $100 every month. So that's something to keep in mind too. Okay, so moving into how to keep satisfied customers. Once you've built your customers, we're going to get to how to find more customers next. But first I want to talk about how to keep satisfied customers. So once I get my 2 or 3 new customers that I try to gain every month, I really take those newbies under my wing and I nurture them. I want to make sure that they have a great, successful start. So I email them information, the measuring tracker, the welcome to Plexus from the Plexus Power Tools, and I write a personal letter and I explain that I really want to be available to help them, and that I'll be reaching out to them and following up with them and making sure that they have a successful start. Follow-up is so important, and there's always going to be those customers who order, maybe they don't know you very well and they don't feel comfortable talking with you, or they're very, skeptical anyway, and they don't respond to you when you message them. Those are the ones that I usually don't keep more than about a month or 2, because they're not communicating with me. They're not answering my questions. And there's not a whole lot you can do about those if they won't reach out and respond with you. But if this is someone that you know well and you're working with them, be a cheerleader for them. Really encourage them when they're getting started. Let them know how excited you are that they're on the journey with you, and that you look forward to really helping them find the success that they're looking for. Take the customer template that I have in the files section, and you can actually write down on a paper for each one of them what their goals are. It's really important to keep track of each time you talk with them, because that personalization is really important. It may not be so hard if you only have 1 or 2 or 3 customers, but as you build your customer base, it's really hard to remember, when did I talk to them last? Or what did we talk about last? Maybe it's right there in your Facebook history and you can remember it when you pull it up. But if you have a customer sheet, you can write down the last time we talked, she had lost 5 pounds, or she was needing troubleshooting help because she hadn't lost any weight, or she was feeling a little bit of headaches from detox. Whatever it was that you were talking with her last, you can write that on your notes, and then you know when to follow up next. So if someone is having troubleshooting issues in their first week, if they're experiencing any kind of detox or not seeing the scale move, or if they're voicing a little bit of frustration, I stay on them more frequently. I'm going to follow up in like a day or 2. I'm going to make sure that I get them to a point where they're happy with what they're seeing. If they're not happy and they're still skeptical, then it's likely they're just going to drop out before they even give it a chance. So I want to make sure that I'm nurturing them and holding their hand as they're getting started. That's really important to keep them along the process. If you just send them the welcome email and let them go and they just start their products and you don't respond to them for the first 7 to 10 days, you'll find that there will be times that people experience that die off and they get those headaches, or they find themselves running to the toilet and they're like, oh, this stuff is not for me. It's not working. But if you catch them in that first, the second or third day when they're experiencing those things, you can explain, oh, you know what? I've had a few customers with that, and I think that's die-off. I'm going to send you some information about Candida die-off, and I'm going to give you some advice on what to do. Back down on the Candida, on the ProBio if they started more than one. Take vitamin C, encourage them, troubleshoot with them, let them know that it's not the product that's making them do that. It might be when they're taking it. It might be the yeast dying off. And if we can talk them through those troublesome starts, then often they'll keep going because they know that this is an expected result. If they think that it's just the products are awful and they're, maybe they're the rare person that it doesn't work for. If they start spiraling those thoughts in their mind, they're more likely to quit on you and not communicate with you. And often once they've made the mental decision to quit, a lot of times it's really hard to get them back, and they may not respond to you when you message them. So troubleshoot with them before they reach that mental point where they want to give up. And continue to be available to them. Always, I always send my message, I'm here if you need anything. If you have any questions at all, just reach out to me. All right. Another thing that's really important is to show thanks and appreciation, because a lot of times people will continue to order from you just because you show them how much you appreciate them. I can't begin to tell you how one of my long-term customers, she felt guilty about quitting. I mean, she's spending her own money, and she felt like she was letting me down if she quit. If you can have a customer who orders from you because they know how much you value their customer, them being a customer, they're going to keep ordering. Even if, money's a little tight that month, they may continue to order just because they know how much you care about them. And people really do need that pat on the back. They love that. It means more to them than even spending the money. So for me, it's really important. I will write personal letters when people have been a customer for, 3 or 4 months. I send them a personal letter to thank them. I often will send them a private message and let them know that I'm doing a customer reward when they hit their 4th month or something. That's up to you how you want to do that. I have in the past, for my loyal customers who've been with me for several months, I will send them a free product. I have returned shipping, if it's another, 5 or 6 months that they've been in it, and I realize, I need to do something really nice for them to thank them. You could send them a Plexus water bottle or something as a fun gift, as a thank you. Another fun thing to do is to do a raffle for your customers. So anyone who is an existing customer or a new customer, you could raffle off a prize, any prize, Amazon gift card, or, whatever you want to give away. But that's a fun thing, because a lot of times we do things like that for our ambassadors, but we want to make sure that we are showing our customers how much we thank them as well. And then another important thing to keep them happy is to remind them when their orders are coming due. So I keep a list on my computer right by my mouse pad, so that each time, every day that I sit down, I can look, okay, whose order is coming due, and is there anyone that I need to message? Because I want to make sure that they know, hey, your order's going out. I try to give them 48 hours notice, because not everyone checks their messages. And if I send it the night before and they don't catch that message and the order goes out in the morning, I would feel really bad. So that 2 nights before, I try to send them a message, especially if they've communicated that they're giving it a try. If they're a loyal customer and I know they're happy, I'm not necessarily going to message those. But for people who are still in that first month or 2 or 3, and they're just seeing how it works, I'm going to message them. I say, hey, your order's set to go out on Tuesday, or, whatever day it is that it's going to go out. And I just wanted to check in with you, see how you're feeling, see if you want to change anything up in your order this time. Just, let me know. often they'll say, no, things are going great, or, well, I'm really not seeing the results I want, which sets up an opportunity for troubleshooting, again, before they cancel. If it's something where maybe they don't love a product that they're on, maybe you could talk about switching it to something else and keep that relationship going before they just bail completely. And then there's times where people want to quit, and they appreciate that you respect their decision, so that again, I'm not burning any bridges. I've had several customers come back. I think I've had at least 3 or 4 come back when they had more money because they didn't feel pressure. And so they know that, you know what, when I'm ready to order again, I don't have to worry about, oh man, she really gave me a guilt trip and made it really hard for me to leave, and I don't want to have to deal with that again. So again, respect what they're communicating, and if it's time that they need to step away, I try to put myself in their shoes, and I just treat them how I would treat myself. And hey, I totally understand. I get that. And I want to tell you, thank you so much for all these months that you've been ordering with me. It's meant a lot to have you as a customer. And I would be happy to help you anytime you're ready to come back. And leave it at that. All right. So the next step that I want to talk about is if they are satisfied. Let's say they've been doing this for a month or 2, and every time you've messaged with them, they've been saying how they're loving their results. They're showing positive. Maybe they're even starting to share some things on Facebook about how excited they are about their customer results. That's when it's time to start presenting them with the business opportunities. They may not have any interest, and that's okay. But again, I'm looking for 3 customers, and I'm looking for 3 ambassadors every month. So I look at, can I find ambassadors from my happy, satisfied customers this month? And I usually have a couple in mind when I know they're doing really well. I know they're satisfied. Then in the back of my mind, I'm like, okay, these are the 3 this month that I'm going to try to convert over to ambassador if they're having successful results. So usually a few days to a week before they're going to order again, before their auto ship is set to go out, I'll talk with them about, hey, did you know that you could actually get your products at wholesale cost and you don't have to sell? But if you have 3 or 4 friends who want to order with you and join in this exciting journey with you, you could even get your products covered, the price of your products refunded in your paycheck. And a lot of times that is enough right there for them to go, wow, really? That sounds awesome. I didn't realize I didn't have to sell, or that with only 3 or 4 customers, I could get potentially cover the cost of my products. And so at that point, if they seem interested in doing that, I might answer the questions about, the backup order on ambassador side is a lot like your preferred customer order, except that if you get $100 from your friends ordering, it won't go out. It's very similar in that aspect. So they feel like, it's kind of, okay, so my auto ship is going to go out. I'm already getting the triplex as a preferred customer. The backup order is a lot like my auto ship. That's going to go out. Nothing changes. If you don't sell anything and you're already ordering 100, nothing changes. But if you sell any, then you make a paycheck. And I think a lot of people are interested in that. I do sometimes share that they, could make a potential, several $100s a month if they're looking to supplement their income. It really depends on the person. If it's someone who's communicated that they'd love to work from home or they want to make some extra money, then I share more about the money side. If it's someone who just is loving their products and doesn't seem too interested in selling, then I approach it more of the wholesale customer getting it for the cheapest price aspect. So, all right. So after I share that with them, then I help them sign up, and then I make sure that they go back in and they cancel their preferred customer order, because that really stinks if they forget to go cancel that preferred order. So make sure that you continue to keep an eye on those things before they have any trouble. They don't want to have an auto ship or a welcome pack come and then their preferred order come as well. So, all right. And then continue to treat your new ambassador as a customer if they're still brand new. If it's still only their second month, continue to coach them in the product side. Don't just mentally convert them up to an ambassador and not continue to coach them along in their products as well. All right. And then, okay, so that's assuming that that person was satisfied. If I come back to them at the end of their first month and they're not happy yet, then we start troubleshooting again. Okay, so you've only seen 3 pounds weight loss and you're looking for more, or you're not seeing the energy that you're looking for, whatever it is that they communicate to you that they're not quite seeing the results that they want. That's when you can share the videos. You know, if it's a slow weight loss, maybe they're not seeing as much as they want, you can share some other testimonials or some videos like Tim Thomas, I only lost 3 pounds. Explain that it's normal. That's why there's a 60-day money-back guarantee. It's normal to not necessarily see any change in that first month. I talked to them about yeast die-off. That can also make them feel a little sluggish and lethargic and not, the energy that they're looking for that first month. So again, just having that relationship and being available, encouraging them to keep going because they've got the 60-day money-back guarantee. But almost every time that I reach out and talk to someone, I know where they were at. I knew the last time we talked where they were, and that triggers in my mind, you know what, she's not really loving her products yet, so I'm going to follow up with her in about 3 or 4 days, and I'm going to make sure that I'm still available so that, if she's not seeing positive improvements, I'm going to give her some ideas to work with there. You can't save everybody. I mean, you can't have everyone find successful results. They say it's 85 to 93% see success, but there's some people who mentally are skeptical. They mentally don't think it's going to work, and they mentally find the negatives in anything they do. So you often have to spin it. Well, have you seen better sleep yet? Are you feeling better energy? Help point out those non-scale victories, because if they're looking for something in particular, well, I haven't lost any weight yet, and they're focused on the negatives, spin it and help them look for the positives. And when you show them those things and they go, oh, well, yeah, you're right, I am feeling those things, then that can often keep them going down the path, down the journey a little longer. Okay. So in follow-up, make sure that you know their health goals. Make sure that you're helping them reach their health goals. Make sure that you know how they're feeling through the process, and be that pat on the back, that cheerleader to help them along. All right. So that being said, the next thing that I want to talk about is how to find new customers. So it's normal to lose customers each month, and sometimes if you added a lot of customers all at the same time, it's not too surprising to have a lot of those customers potentially drop off, especially when their 60-day money-back guarantees coming due. If they don't see what they're looking for, you might lose quite a few. It has happened. I went from 2,000 PV one month to only 700 the very next month. So it is not uncommon to have big swings in PV, and I don't want you guys to get discouraged if you have a big drop one month. It does happen. Looking back, the J months are usually our slow months, June, July, and January. In the summer, people are out having a great time. They're on vacation. They're not thinking about their diet. They don't want to have to mess with that. And in January, they've just spent a ton of money at Christmas, and they do not have a ton of money to spend. They've already bought whatever plan they were going to use starting January 1st for their resolution. So the month of January, they don't spend a whole lot of money. So if you're having a slow month and it's one of those are normal expected times. Okay, so how to reach out to add more customers so that you can keep building your customer base. Remember, Celeste always talks about this is like a bathtub. The water is running and the drain is open. So you got to keep that water flowing in as fast, if not faster, than it's draining out the bottom of the tub. So when I'm looking for customers, the first thing that I want to do is I want to be observant of what people are saying and complaining and venting about on Facebook, because it's usually right there where you can find who the people are who are sick and tired and miserable and fat, whatever it is that their issue is. If they've got a health problem, they air it out on Facebook. So start making a list of those people in your, take a piece of paper, keep it beside your computer. Anytime someone complains about something, write that name down. And then as you have time, send them a private message. Hey, I just saw you, talking about how you've got migraines all the time, or how you don't have energy, or how you really hate exercising, but you want to lose weight, or maybe they're joking about something and you've got something that can help. Send them a personal private message and just say, I really wish you'd give Plexus a chance because it may be what you're looking for. And often you'll get the excuses, oh, it's too expensive, or oh, whatever their excuse is. Again, until they're ready, they're just going to give you an excuse. But you've planted a seed, and you continue to keep that person on your prospect list and follow up with them. Each time they make another venting post, or each time you feel like, you know what, I'm going to run a special and I'm going to refund shipping. So I'm going to message all these people on my prospect list. And if that person is someone you planted the seed with, you go back and say, hey, I know last time I messaged you, we were talking about how you didn't think you had enough money to try Plexus right now, but that you might like to see if it would help your energy. I wanted to let you know that I'm running a special and I'm refunding shipping, and I thought this might be a great time for you to get started on your journey. Remember, all customers get a 60-day money-back guarantee. So if it doesn't work, then you get your money back. So that's a way to just keep following up with them. Another thing that you can do, if you can afford it, is to offer to give them a sample. So they've complained that they've got a need, and you could say, hey, I really think Plexus might be exactly what you're looking for. Can I send you a 3-day sample if you commit to trying it? And do the if I then you, or if you, basically you just want to make sure that they're going to commit to taking it. If I send you a sample, will you take it? Something like that. That way you get that commitment from them verbally. Yeah, sure. I'd be happy to try it. Thank you for sending that to me. You can send them one stick pack. You do not have to send them a 3-day trial. If you send them one stick pack, it's enough for them to taste it and decide that it might be something they'd like to do longer term, and then you can help them become a customer. All right, follow up. It is so important, you guys. I think that we've posted it in the team page several times, but most people, it takes 5, 6, 7 times of following up before they actually order. So if you only ask them once or twice and you don't want to bug them, you've missed out on the opportunity to gain that customer. Again, 80% of customers order on the 5th or more time that you ask. You don't have to be like pressuring them into it. It could just be a friendly reminder, a little encouragement, or, hey, I'd love to give you a try. I can't wait to get you started on this, something like that. But you've got to keep following up. It doesn't have to be every day. You don't have to annoy the heck out of them so they block you. But periodically, keep them on your list until they give you a no. If they say, no, I'm really not interested, then back off. But maybe 3 months later, if they're still complaining, say, hey, I know you weren't interested several months ago when I asked you, but I'm running a huge special, and I just wanted to let you know in case you know anyone else who might be. So that way you're not saying you're saying, hey, I appreciate that you support my friendship and my business, and if you know anybody else who might be interested in this special. And who knows, they might be then sick of being sick and tired and ready to jump on the Plexus train. Because I always think of a no as a not yet. You never know when they might be ready. Okay, and then another thing that you want to do is create new networks. Always be building your lists, your friendships, going to new, clubs, or joining new Bible studies, or, figuring out new ways that you can build friendships to plant more seeds. Again, like Celeste talked about in her DMO today, she does not talk with new friends about Plexus when she first meets them. She just starts growing new friendships, and she adds them on Facebook. When they're added to your Facebook and you're regularly posting about Plexus, they're going to start having those seeds planted daily by your Facebook posts. If they're immediately interested, great. They're going to message you and they're going to be like, hey girl, what is this stuff you're talking about? If they're not, you're still planting seeds so that when the time comes, when you do say, hey, I don't know if you've noticed, but I sell this health and wellness product, and I know you mentioned that your mom has high blood sugar, whatever it is, that's a connection to reach out to them. You've already built that friendship and that trust and rapport with them, so they feel like they can trust you and you're not just trying to sell to them. Oh, she only made friends with me this week because she wanted to sell to me. Give it time for your friendship to grow, unless you really sense that they're really in need of these products and the Lord, or you just feel an overwhelming need to share with them. I'm not a stranger. I'm not one to go out and approach strangers unless they're just really talking about how much need they have, or their family member is really suffering with some health condition. It may be put on my heart to share with them right then and there. But normally I'm just growing friendships and building my friendship circles so that I can gain potentials down the road. And I'm often looking for my 3 new customers from the seeds I've already been planting in prior months and prior weeks. So I'm not just looking for strangers yet. I may reach that point where I've run out of my warm market and I have to start talking to strangers, but I'm not quite there yet. Okay, and then that is the last point. You can also share with strangers. If you have a boldness to share and you want to go canvassing and walking up to people and saying, hey, there's a new health and wellness company. We're just getting started in your area, and here's my business card. If you know anybody who suffers from blood sugar instability, or who struggles to lose weight or could use some extra income, would you please pass along my business card? So if you like that kind of thing, you feel bold and ready to share and go canvas, go do it. Have your stuff. You can even have a few samples. Some people stick 5 business cards in their pocket when they're out and about, and they're like, I'm not going to stop until I've given all 5 of these out. And that is great. That is definitely one approach that works well for some people. You can leave cards and brochures around at different restaurants, or where they, doctor's offices where they have the bulletin boards. So think of other ways that you can spread your name around and get the word out there. But those are my tips on how to grow your customer base and keep your PV high. I hope I've given you some really good tips on this. I'm going to stop the recording and have some question and answer time.